Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Book Writers Procrastination Club broadcast. I am Barrett Matthews, and I'm happy to have you all with us tonight. We have a special guest with us, as you all know, Miss BernNadette Stanis. I want to tell you a little bit about the Book Writers Procrastination Club first before we bring her on. As you all know, I am a speaker, trainer, and an author. I wrote the best-selling book, Why Didn't You Get It Done? And that's why I started this book club, to get people done in writing their books. A lot of times people tell me all the time, well, I want to write a book, I'm going to write a book, but they don't do it. So we started this together to help them do that. So tonight, one of our segments is Meet the Author, where we bring in a special guest author and have them talk about their books and why you should be writing a book too. And I do have a special announcement for everyone at the end of the broadcast, so make sure you stick around to the end because we have a very, very special announcement to bring to you. So without any further ado, I want to bring on the lady who has been every man my age, been her their crush, and every girl wanted to be her or be like her when we were younger as well. Miss BernNadette Stanis, or as you know her, Thelma from Good Times. BernNadette, how are you doing this evening?
Fine, Mary. How are you?
I am doing marvelously well and improving, and I am just glad to have you on board with us tonight. And you have, first of all, for those of you who don't know, this is not BernNadette's first venture in writing. You've written before, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I wrote Situations 101, Relationships, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Then I wrote, Situations 101, Finance, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And then my third book is The Last Night, right here. It's basically part of my life story and my walk with my mother through Alzheimer's and me as a caregiver.
Okay, now let's talk about that book because that is the main book we want to focus on. We're going to talk about your other books as well, but I want to focus on the main book, The Last Night. And once again, this is the book. She just held it up. I'm going to hold it up too. We're definitely promoting this book because we want you all to buy the book and learn a lot. Because BernNadette, you in the book, I noticed you said you learned a lot about the disease of Alzheimer's and how it affects people. First of all, I want to ask you, what prompted you to write a book about this?
Well, when I was going through this with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
I could go on the internet and read a lot of things and facts and points and the 10 stages, but there was really no one that could soothe the pain in my heart. No one could address the issue of mourning while caregiving. I was mourning the death of my mother while caregiving because when you have Alzheimer's, there is no cure. Although while I was taking care of her, every single day I was praying for a miracle.
Wow.
So my heart is in this. My heart is in this book.
I can feel it when you're talking that your heart is in it as well. Now you wrote the book. I know that you had a lot in dealing with it being as a caregiver. I was talking with a friend that I went to college with today. She said she is dealing with that as herself, being a caregiver, and she actually met you at Hampton University where you autographed the book for her, and she said she got a lot from the book. And I just want to first of all thank you for putting a book out there like that for caregivers. But did you have that in mind also to help caregivers? When you wrote it?
Everything it just came to me because when I got my mom to live with me, I was just starting the book Situations 101 Relationship. I was just starting the book tour on that. So mommy was with me all the time. So I told her one day, I said, it would be nice, mother, if you had your book. And if someone could tell your story, you could tell your story. And she said, yeah. And I said, you could just sit right next to me and we could be telling stories, And, we wanted to do the book together. We wanted to do it for men, but we didn't realize the monster, I call it the monster, Alzheimer's was moving in on my so fast that we just formed thoughts. You know, we just had to, that went out quicker. So when mom passed away, well, I never like to say passed away. I always say kitchen. I had to finish the book for her. I wanted the world to know what a wonderful woman she was. Not just my mommy, mother. She was my friend. She was my little angel on earth. I mean, she was a beautiful person. And I just hated to see this disease, the way it was ravaging, you know, her. She died before I mean, she died before she got to the end stages. So she and I still could communicate. She knew me, things like that. But I called it the last because it was a very special night. And I never realized what that was going to be like or what that was. And when it did happen, I had to because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't, it just wasn't. It actually was because it had to happen, it was actually
Now, I want to ask you, in writing the book, because a lot of people out there are facing challenges that they've dealt with, personal challenges similar to what you have dealt with your mom, or situations that have happened to them in the past, and they're really hesitant to get the story out because they're afraid of the emotions it will bring up, and they don't want to really have to address those emotions right now. And can you talk a little bit about the writing process in dealing with the personal issues?
Well, I can do that. I can talk about the process because as a writer, I have committed myself to telling the truth. And if I can't tell the truth, don't tell the story. Because I do believe that as a writer, what you put on that page, you would hope that the reader would feel what you were trying to get them to feel. And I think I did that in this book because you have to realize, I have realized that my mother didn't cause this disease on herself. We don't know where it came from. I'm not ashamed of it. I was never ashamed of my mother because it is a disease. And a lot of people are ashamed of that disease. They hide it. They hide the person. They're embarrassed. They think that people are going to look at them like something's wrong with them. But it's a disease, sweetheart, and what we have to do is find a cure. You have to get it out there. And I'm not ashamed, afraid, anything about it. Is what it is. So I realized to step out and be an advocate against Alzheimer's is a big deal. But it is my deal. It was my mother's deal. And I'll fight.
That's great. That's great. Now, I have a good friend, my friend Andre. He and his sister Andrea they're dealing with it with their mom right now. She's got Alzheimer's, and they're struggling with it. I don't know if you have siblings, or did you deal with this by yourself? Or did you have deal with it with other people? And what advice can you give to Andre and his family as well, and others like?
Well, you know, usually they're going to be like. Depending on how many children there are, there's going to be one going to probably take the advance. It was me because everybody their mommy is always going to live with well or not. But I am back. I mean, I am California. They were back. So mommy was with me, so I was her kid. She became my baby.
Right.
Although she would always remind me, You know I have other children, don't you? Of course I know you have other children.
Now you actually you put your acting career on hold for a while while dealing with this. Was that difficult as well? Because I mean, a lot of times people, they have to change a lot of things in their life and dealing with that. And did you have to? Was that difficult for you?
Well, no, it wasn't difficult. It's something that had to be done. I knew that Alzheimer's in my mom, I knew it was going to take her life in a matter of a few years. And that was the most important thing to keep my mother alive. Her life was more important to me than anything else. I did a wonderful job at times. I did my thing. I did got on stage, and I also in acting. A career never really. I mean, you can at any age. I'm never afraid of that.
Right.
You just change roles. I can't play 21. Play 22.
That's my girl.
But yeah, so you just roll with life, whatever it is, you try to do the best you can. I was the kind of caregiver where I had a 10-year-old at the time, I had 18-year-old, 2 daughters, and I had a mom, husband, and bookstore to do. I mean, and I was saying, a lot of people are. So as a caregiver, out of the 24 hours a day, I didn't get not even really for myself. That's what I talk to caregivers about. You can't feel guilty and not to take care of yourself. Because I would feel like, I'm not going to go to the gym right now. I've got to take care. Oh, hanging out with friends. Oh, stop. But it got to the point where even friends, I'm still worried about my mom. So it's better to stay home. I can see her.
Right. And
that's the way to do it. It's not the way to do it.
And I've seen that happen before with family where they feel guilty for taking care of their own life, while taking care of their loved one. I get that totally, because I've had that happen with my family as well. It's a horrible situation, and it's a horrible disease. I want to ask you, in writing the book, what did you find to be the most challenging part of writing it?
Going through the chapters, talking about certain parts in my life, certain things that happened that I learned about while disease with my mother, how you treat it, how people they don't connect with you when you need to be connected to. When your heart is breaking and you're just at the last little bit of it, when you need a hug and everybody's looking at you and saying, yeah, I get it, but I really don't get it. And it's like, where do you go? Where do you go? And of course, I always pray. So I would always ask, and to make it easier, give me the grace I need to do what I have to do. Basically it. And that was one of the lessons I learned. And I also learned that I needed a companion. And I say that, I mean someone that really understood this thing. And I found people that I could talk to because their parents had gone the same way. But some care wasn't the same. So I said, you know what? There must be other suffering in silence, and they just don't talk about it because it's such a pleasant thing to talk about around people that don't want to hear it. So let this book become a person's companion through this trip.
I like that. Now, I want to ask you, I've asked you about the most challenging part of writing it. What would you say was the most gratifying thing about writing the book?
Well, the most challenging part about writing the book was literally sitting down every day, getting started on something like this, because it was very painful, and I had to be accurate. I wanted to be as fair to the situation and my mother as possible, and I found that very difficult to deal with. There were moments where I would get lost in the writing, I'd write for hours, or there would be moments where I would just say, like I would get choked for a moment, and I would just have to say, okay, I can't do it anymore right now, and I'd walk away from the book for a day or two or three, and then I could feel the monkey on your back. Don't forget, there's a monkey on your back when you're writing, and it's saying, get back to me, get back to me. So I had to go back.
Ooh, say that again.
It is a monkey on your back.
You can say that again.
It's really giving birth. Literally, I know people don't understand it, but it's like you are giving birth. And once that baby is born, you know, it takes you get back to going. It's done. You know, what am I doing? You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. That's why I'm laughing, because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's yeah, once it's born, it's born.
It's born. It's born. You know, and you've done it. And
now you
know,
got to nurture it.
Yeah, you got to nurture it, and you have to walk it through, and you have to, you know. And then after a while, it takes on its little feet, its own little legs, and it starts doing its little, you know, it's like a baby. You know, that's
oh my gosh.
I love writing because of that.
I can't say that I've heard it described that way before, but I do like that. I do like that. It's getting his little feet and legs as well. And, so that was good. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna use that sometime, because that was good. I love the way you put that. Now, you also, because I don't want to get too far ahead and move on to other subjects, but you actually started an organization to help fight Alzheimer's.
Well, yes. What my organization, my foundation does, in honor of my mother, it's called Remembering the Good Times, an Alzheimer's Foundation. And everyone will say, yeah, you call it that because of good times, but actually I did call it that because of good times, but the story behind it is different. It was Mother and I were watching Good Times, because she used to like to watch it, and she was right in the middle of this monster, you know, and she was going through her thing. And she and I were sitting down together, and Thelma and JJ were fighting, and Karen and doing their thing. And she was looking at the television, and she looked up at me and she said, "That's a cute little old girl."
Oh, wow.
So I
a lot of people agree with that.
I go along with everything. I said, "Yeah, Mom, she's cute. She's cute." But as she said that to me, like a stab in my heart, you know, because she no longer knew that I played Thelma. You know, and that hurt me so badly to realize that this monster had taken that away from her. So I called the monster in the mind in Alzheimer's, and I said, when this thing is done, I'm going to form a foundation called Remembering the Good Times and Alzheimer's Foundation in honor of my mother. And that's why I did it.
I love that. I love that. Now, in talking about the book, what parts of the book do you think the reader should pay special attention to? Are there any particular chapters or any particular stories that you want to tell about the book that they need to pay special attention to?
Well, there's some fun things in the book, but especially pay attention to the facility. The facility.
What was that again?
The chapter is called The Facility.
Oh, the facility. Okay.
Okay. I talked seriously about that. Talk seriously about facilities that are out there, and the things that are going. And it's not all facilities. See, that's the problem. You never know which ones are the ones. So that's the trick of the trade. And I mentioned that I told people what to look for because it happened to my mother. Actually, we had a 5-star facility. We went to visit it, and the reason we had to go to that facility is only because had shingles. She went to the hospital. They told me that she had to get a feeding tube. She got a feeding tube, and they said the doctor recommended her go to a place for like 2 weeks just to get stronger, and then I could bring her back home.
Right.
So I found the place that I thought was the best because they had all the 5 stars. You go there, they tell you what they're gonna do. Everybody, good. Everybody's good. And within those 2 weeks, 2 weeks now, my mother, that D, that C deficit. It's a disease that is in the home. And it actually, that was a disease that killed her because she had to take so many antibiotics.
Right.
Down to, and it killed her eventually. So she died within 6 months. So this is why it's very important that I put that out there. Not all facilities are bad, but there are some very bad ones that are very, very, very creepy and not give the care that they cost you.
Wow. This is wow. This is really something. And I'm thanking myself because I had an uncle who passed away a few years ago. He had dementia, and my father said that with those types of diseases, you watch the person die twice, mentally and then physically, and it's really difficult. You're bringing back some memories of my uncle, and it's really rough. It's just really hard to.
And it's very hard because
you can't really explain it.
No, you can't. And that's why I wrote it plain and simple, just like it happened. And see, what a lot of times you don't realize is that sometimes they have workers, not all places, but some places have workers that are not using the right soap or the right, care. And so they pass the disease from one patient to the next, trying to hurry them up, or doing what they got to do. So the disease is very, very contagious. So it's to everybody. So this is why you got to be really careful where you're going with your mom or your parent or whatever. And this is things that you learn. I was totally shocked because, like, what is that? And then I realized, what's that? And then I realized why you get that. Because they don't use soap.
Wow. And see, I'm learning already from you, and I know that you have to be very vigilant in when you're looking at a facility. I've seen it happen before where people go to visit their loved ones and find out that they've got bruises all on them and from falling out of the bed or something like that, or even sometimes, unfortunately, you have some of the caretakers in the facilities that actually abuse them, and it's just really horrible. But you have to be very, very much on top of it when dealing with it. I always say that if you have a loved one in a facility, you have to treat it as if they're a baby, because that way you will stay more on top of it. Because if it were your child, you would be all over it. So you have to be all over it in that regard as well.
Well, it's so
that's how
sad.
I look at it.
Yeah, it's so sad because it's like you have to have care around the care. Now there are some facilities that are wonderful and they're doing very well, but there are some that are bad that's making it bad for us. So many of them. I'm not saying all facilities are bad. We just happen to have one that tricked me. One that tricked me.
Yeah. And then you're not alone. You know that.
Oh,
you're not alone.
I know. That's why I speak.
There's several of them.
Because it was
good, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
And you, it's funny you mentioned that you speak about it. I noticed on the back of your book here you wrote, I will use my face, the face that my mother gave me, the face of Thelma, to be the face that will fight Alzheimer's. And I appreciate that you said that, because you have a familiar face. People recognize you, and as you know, people have always responded to celebrity, especially when celebrity speaks out against something that that's an injustice or something that's going against what people would morally want done. So I definitely want to commend you for that.
Thank you, Barrett.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. We appreciate that. I mean, and I definitely want to do my part. If call me anytime if you need me to help you with anything. You know that.
I definitely will do that.
I got your back.
Well, this is helping me, right? At least it's getting out to the people, what I'm doing and what this book is about. I mean, one thing I loved about writing this book was like a little gift to me, because it starts out, I talk about my heritage, I talk about my grandparents both sides. I talk about me growing up, me being born. I talk about how I got my name, BernNadette. I talk about the fun years that my mother had, as a teenager, and meeting my dad, and us living in Brownsville and growing up so much like Good Times,
Right.
And how I was picked up as the bunch to be Thelma, and my life, part of it on Times, and my role and Esther and John. I give a lot of my life in her. I talk about a little bit about Hollywood, and then I talk about yeah, I do, and I talk about coming home, just before father passed away, what that was like, and then life after my dad. And hopefully, maybe there's a link to that, being that sometimes trauma, devastation, or something like that can lead to Alzheimer's. We don't know. I do know that depression can lead to dementia, lack of vitamin D. Most African Americans, we all low vitamin D. So maybe low vitamin D can lead to depression, and depression can lead to dementia, and who knows where. I'm saying,
right.
I try to link up as many things as I can to be as transparent as I can, so that maybe it will strike when somebody says, maybe it is devastation. Because my father was murdered.
Oh no.
My father was murdered. My mother was only 9. And we start noticing some changes going on little by little between 9 and 69. So I guess she was in a depression, and we didn't really know it. And then by the time she hit 70, we started to see some changes. So I did that so that other people can trace back on their own life and see what their parents have gone through, and maybe that maybe there's an extra. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think that's that. I think from what I'm gathering is that you were very thorough in the book. You covered pretty much your whole life in it, and it's something that you don't really see a lot of from the celebrities that we've looked at in the past, or even today. We don't see that type of transparency as you gave us, and that in effect, to me, is enough for anyone to read the book, because you actually learn not only about the monster, as you put it, but you also learn about you and your mom, the relationships, because we all have relationships, and it's something that we can learn from on how to deal with it, because as much as we want to try to push it aside, we don't know when something like this will affect our family.
Yeah,
we don't know. And because we don't know, it's good to have some type of a book like yours. Last night, a shameless plug there, a book like yours to make sure that we have a point of reference that maybe we can learn something from, maybe we can grow from it, and and just help us along the way. So once again, I appreciate what you're doing. And if someone wants to help with the cause, what is there somewhere where they can go to contact? Remembering the Good Times.
They can go to rememberingthegoodtimes.org if they want to donate or anything. If they want to get the book, they can go to thelmaofgoodtimes.com and they can order the book there. I autograph it. Comes past my
Yes,
desk.
you do. She autographed mine, so. She autographs the book. Yes, she does.
You know, that autograph might be very important one day.
One day, it's important now. What are you talking about?
You know how it is. You know, years from now, it may be very important.
Look, it's important now. Okay, I told you I was going to bring this up at some point. So we talked. BernNadette and I talked the other day, and I was telling her that she is like the American sweetheart, especially to the Black community. We always looked at her as the girl next door that all the guys had to crush on, or the girl next door that all the girls wanted to be. And I was telling her that her personality now is just like we thought of Thelma. She was just that nice of a person, that sweet of a person. And look, she said, "Oh, please make sure you tell them that." I would gladly tell them that, because there's not a soul that would disagree with me on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, you are so gracious, so giving, and so nice. I definitely appreciate that. And by the way, I had to tell you this because I got a good laugh today, because I did see someone saying it was your birthday again today.
Huh? Say what?
I saw someone on Facebook saying it was your birthday again today.
Oh, you know what? And you laughed, right? Because I told you about
Yes, I cracked up laughing.
Every like 2 weeks, every other day, somebody texts me, "Oh, happy birthday! Oh, by the way, happy birthday!" So I mean, I should be about 59 right now. Every day. It's my birthday. So, but I think it's so cute, you know. But my birthday is December 22nd. You know, so if y'all want to say happy birthday, say happy birthday. But
December 22nd. Remember that.
But you know what I did say? It's really funny. Last year for my birthday, 2 years ago for my birthday, I said, you know what? I'm gonna celebrate 365 days of the year. I'm gonna celebrate my birthday. Somebody.
Yeah, well, apparently it's working. You had full celebration all year long. Now, I want to before I get on the other stuff, I want to address another question. Ever since I announced that we were doing this, I've been asked, how do you know her? How do you know her? Okay, let me address this really quickly. I actually met you, and I don't even know if you remember this one. You were in Maryland at the Half Note nightclub, and you were there, and I saw you there, and I was told about the website that you have. So I went to your website, and I was able to set it up where you called my friend Sonny. You remember talking to Sonny? I set it up for you to. Yeah, hey Sonny. Sonny's probably watching us.
Hey,
so I set it up so you all could talk on Christmas. It was about my Christmas gift to her. Well, Sonny lives in Pennsylvania. I live in Maryland. I get a phone call Christmas evening. I'm with my family eating dinner, and I pick up the phone and I hear, "Hey, Barrett, it's BernNadette." And I'm like, hey, because it really struck me. And I said to myself, Thelma's calling me on Christmas. Wow, how great. So, and you said you could not get in touch with Sonny. So I set up the three-way call so you all could talk. And of course, I had to stay on the phone because you all were talking. Right. And so then it was like, I think it was a year later, you came to Maryland to be the MC for the EPNET Gala. And that's when I got to introduce myself to you in person, and we talked. And I still owe you an ink pen because she's a pen thief, just so you all know. She wanted to pens. She loves pens. So I got to give her an ink pen for her birthday, which is December 22nd. And so then I got an email back in October. Yeah, back in October from you, stating that you had written the book the last night. And I thought it was an autoresponder email. And I said, if this is BernNadette, I would love to help you and support you in buying your book because you helped me out with my friend Sonny. But is this really you or an autoresponder? You responded immediately. Yes, it's me, Barrett. It's me. So that's how we got back in touch. And then I found out the greatest thing. which actually I already had heard, but I'd forgotten about it until you mentioned it, that your daughter is a freshman at my alma mater, Hampton University. Go Pirates. And so your daughter is there. So, and of course, you were going to be at homecoming, and I was out of town, so I wasn't able to go to homecoming. But I told you, let me know when you're going to visit again at Hampton, my home by the sea. I don't need an excuse to go there. So, just let me know. So I wanted to get that out to everyone who was wondering how I know BernNadette. This is how I know BernNadette. So now you have it. And just so you know, many of my male friends are mad at me. They're hating on me. They're jealous on me because I know you. I'm just putting it out there. And all I can say is, nah. So you do have other books, and you mentioned them before. I want to, if you can, just talk briefly about what those books are about so that people can get a better understanding, because I want them to support everything that you're putting out there.
Thank you so much. Well, I have a book called Situations 101 about relationships, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I wrote 101 different situations and my responses to them. And, you know, I don't know how I ended up becoming, you know, the girlfriend that everybody tells their
Yes.
I'm that person because I personally don't know their friends, but I have lots of friends all over the United States. And they'll call me and I'll give them advice. And it works sometimes. You know,
Right.
Whatever. But so I said, you know, I had a couple of friends that, you know, but with this one person, he kept calling me about, you know, the same thing for 3 years. And I said,
3 years?
3 years. Ain't God. I said, you know what? Something's wrong here. She's just not getting it. Or she just wants to dump. I mean, I said, okay, I'm going to fix this. I said, I'm going to write something down for you, you know, so that you can put it on your refrigerator, you know, in the middle of the night, you know, because she calls me at 3 in the morning crying. And I said, what's wrong? She said, you can't reach him. You can't reach him. What do you mean you can't reach him? You won't answer the phone. I said, well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe he's asleep. She said, no, he's not asleep. I said, well, how do you know he's not asleep? She said, because I kept calling him. Did you kept calling him? How many times did you call the man? About 15 times.
No.
So, you know what? I wouldn't answer. So I told her I was going to write her something down so she wouldn't disturb people like that if she can't get it together in the middle of the night. So I said, I started to write. And when I started to write, I actually started to write the whole book. That's how the book came about.
Wow.
So for that one girl who kept calling me 3 o'clock in the morning, and I said I'm going to help her out by writing just so she could put it on the refrigerator to read in the middle of the night or whatever. And I told her, I said, you know what? Put it on the refrigerator because if that doesn't help you, then do like most of us. Open the refrigerator and eat something. She said, "You're a nut." I said, "Yes, and so are you."
Yeah, you're the nut. You're the nut. That's
anyway,
funny.
you know, she's my friend, so she can say that. But I'm like, you know, that's how it started. Yeah.
Oh wow. So that was one of the books.
That's the first book. That's the relationship book. So as I was touring and talking about relationships, I realized that most relationships break up and get together because of money.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about your money. First of all, you got to have a relationship with your own money. You got to know if you want to share your money, if you want to keep your money, if you don't want anybody to spend your money. You know, you got to know what you're feeling about your money. So I started talking about relationship with our money, and that's how that book came.
Oh wow. Wow. So basically, I'm just want to let you know what's going to happen now. Since you have just voiced that about those relationships, you're going to have an influx of people now wanting to buy that book.
Oh yes, And I always get people tell me, you should do a blog, BernNadette, and talk to people like this about your relationship and stuff like that. People want to talk. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
You should do these. You should get these Google Hangouts. People would love to see you and talk to you as well. They would love that.
Yeah, I need to do that.
We'll talk about that later. We'll get that set up for you.
Okay, I'll do that. I'd love to do that.
We get that set up for you. We can have you doing that regularly. People would love to talk to you and be able to see you on a regular basis. Just so you know, I mean, I think I speak for the general public. We miss seeing you on a regular basis.
Really?
So,
you do?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know what? They can probably catch me this season on Black Jesus. Yeah.
How was that for a setup? Did I set that up good?
You set it up good. Real good. I like that one. But anyway, no, really, I have not seen the show. I did the show way back in June, but I haven't seen it. And they say that, but I've been missing it. So I guess I'll catch it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
One little guy, he was 16 or 17 years old, and he said, "Oh, I saw you last night on Black Jesus." I said, "You did?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, I didn't even know." Nobody. So he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what was I doing?" So he said, "Oh, you were in the bed with Thelma Evans."
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what you want to hear.
It's a fun part. I enjoy doing it.
Well, I hadn't been watching it, but now you gave me a reason to watch the show.
Yeah,
now,
watch that show. It's really, she is some character. It's actually, they use my name, BernNadette. But I play.
Oh, okay, cool.
I play John Witherspoon's ex-wife.
Anything with John Witherspoon is gonna be funny.
It's crazy, you hear me? And I play Charlie's girlfriend.
So how did you manage to keep a straight face?
You know I'm an actress. You know I'm an actress.
Well, sometimes actors and actresses lose it too. So
they lose it too, but I did lose it with this one. I have a scene when I sit down in the apartment with Charlie, and then John Witherspoon comes in and he sees me sitting there because he doesn't want anything to do with me because I'm the one who drove him to drink.
Oh.
So he looks at me. Oh no, she's here. No. Then I sit down on the couch and I go, maybe he doesn't like me anymore because I've gotten old and ugly. I don't know. And then so Charlie says, well, let me just tell you something. He's got onions for eyes. I said, he's got what?
I love Charlie Murphy. I love Charlie Murphy.
So he can't see you anyway. You know, he can't see me. He said, I think you're beautiful, okay, like that. So that's why he becomes my boyfriend.
Oh wow, okay. See, I'm really interested now. I gotta see the show. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but see now, since someone I know is actually in it, I gotta watch it now. I gotta support.
I'm that girl. I'm that wild girl.
You're that girl. You're that girl. Well, hopefully they'll bring you back for more and more.
Yeah,
and
well,
more.
it's up to my public. If they like it, they'll bring me back.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that out there? We're her public, so let's support her. Let's get that going for her. And also, I want to.
I guess you could just say I like you on Black Jesus.
There you go. There you go, on Black Jesus. So just make sure you support her on Black Jesus. It feels funny saying that.
It's a Cartoon Network, and it changes into Adult Swim at night. And I think it comes on Fridays.
Okay, good. See, you helped me because I didn't know when it came on, so that's good. So now I know.
Fridays,
now,
I think, yeah, season.
Well, I mean, now I want to ask you also in your book, are you working on any other books right now, or are you just working on?
I am actually working on a book.
You are.
Well, I've been working on this book. You know, when you work with teenagers, it's rough. My daughter is writing a book. You know, she wants to be like mommy, so she's writing a book called Situations for Teenagers. teenage.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And she has gotten stories ever since she was in high school. So I said, remember all your stories, and I'll give you the results. You go ahead and write the story, and I'll give you the response. So I'll help you write your first book. So she's been writing in college. I said, you have so many stories, girl. You might have book 1, 2, and 3.
Hello. so basically she can put that book out there at school and get the people to buy the book.
Yes, she could. Yes, she could. Because we do the stories around situations that a lot of people go through, but we don't use, anybody. It's just a general situation, and I create it like that.
Sometimes you have to change the names to protect the crazy, so I get it. I get it. So,
it's a book that makes you think,
Well, that's good though. I mean, I like that. See, and I encourage, especially young authors, to get that going. One of my friends, Adrian Hazel. He's a young man. He actually had him on here once before. He's 20 years old and he's already written 3 books.
Oh, how wonderful! That's great.
It is, and just like you, he got it from his father, Ahmed, who had written books. So he wanted to just keep it going, and he actually said he wrote the first book. It was a college assignment, and he just wrote it. Then he just kept going with it further and further. So he's writing children's books, and it's really good.
Awesome.
And I just encourage that.
You can teach them so much, no?
Now, what's your daughter's name so we can promote her as well?
Her name is Brittany Rose Fontana. That's the one that's writing the book. And my other daughter is basically a designer. She designs it. Her name is Dior Ravel.
All right now. All right, we want to give a plug to the whole family, so we just want to make sure that they all get the love out there. So BernNadette, let's talk back about the last night again. How can people get the book?
Well, you can go to my website. ThelmaofGoodTimes.com. And when you go there, you just press down on the book thing and it'll drop. And go to last night, and then I'll tell you what to do.
Okay. Now, I just want to know exactly what she said. That's how it works. Thelma of Good Times and .com, and then you can just click on the books that you want. I bought 2 of them, so I'm challenging you all to do the same. Just buy 2,
I would
3,
appreciate
4,
that. I certainly would.
And she will autograph.
Everybody who buys the book, I get to see them. The little goes ding, 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 and I see them. So I definitely will address it to you.
Very good, very good. And Thelma, I called you Thelma. Oh my God.
Hey, hi. I've been Thelma a long time.
You've been Thelma a long time. You've been BernNadette a little longer though. So.
Yeah, a little longer. A
little bit longer. I want to thank you for joining us with the Book Writers Procrastination Club, and I want to ask you when you have your next book done, would you please join us again, or when your daughter has hers, would join us on here?
I certainly would. Certainly would. She would love it.
Fantastic. Well, once again, I want to thank you for joining us. Everyone, please get the book, The Last Night. Support her. Watch Black Jesus. Buy her other book, Situations 101. Oh, I'm plugging her. I'm just support her.
I love you for that. Thank you.
I love you too. You gave us so much joy in our lives, so it's time for us to give back a little bit to you. So I appreciate you for doing that.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you once again for joining us, and you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And everybody stay tuned. I have a special announcement for you. Thank you again, BernNadette.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Okay, everybody. Now, I have a special announcement. As you know, the Book Writers Procrastination Club, what we do is we help you in writing books. We have several different programs for you. What we do, though, we also have a call that we do each week. And actually, we're going to be starting to move the call to Sundays. We're going to move the call to Sunday to Saturday at 10 a.m. It's a call with all the people, the members. It's a membership only group where we're going to have you come on and we'll talk about helping you write your book so that you can have your book done, but with coaching from people and talking to people who are like you. We have different programs for you. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Book Writers Procrastination Club, let me tell you a little bit about what we normally do for membership. Normally what we do is we charge you $97 a month to stay in the club. It's every week you talk, you're going to learn about how to write a book. $97 a month. There's no commitment as to how long you have to stay in. It's just as long as you want to. We did run a special before. With this special, you can't beat it. The special for this right now for the Book Writers Procrastination Club is instead of $97 a month, you pay a one-time fee of $97 and you are a lifetime member. You don't have to pay any more. You pay one fee of $97 and you're in the Book Writers Procrastination Club for life. Now, how do you do that? I know you're wondering that. Well, if you're interested, I'm going to give you my direct number. I want you to text, I want to be in, to my number, 301-326-9919. 301-326-9919. Just tell me that you want to be in, and you will be in the Book Writers Procrastination Club. We will get that set up for you right now because I want to talk to those people who really want to do it. If you really want to write a book, if you're serious about writing your book, if you're tired of procrastinating, I can show you how to get that book done before 2016 comes in. I wrote my book in 6 days, so I can show you how to do that. What we want to do is get your book done, get it out there as soon as possible. So what you want to do is tell me that you want to be, oops, somebody texted me already. Text, I want to be in to 301-326-9919. 301-326-9919, and we're going to get your book done. I love it. I'm so happy. I'm excited about you guys that want to get that book done. One time, $97, no more monthly payments. One time of $97, and you are in, and you're going to get your book done. I promise you that much. So I want to thank BernNadette Stanis once again for joining us on the Book Writers Procrastination Club. I want to thank all of you who watched this tonight. There will be a replay. The replay will be available very shortly. I want everyone to share this with their friends. If you want to write a book, if your friends want to write a book, if you feel they need to write a book, have them contact us. Book Writers Procrastination Club, join our Facebook group as well, and buy the book, The Last Night by BernNadette Stanis. Everyone, have a great night, and as I always say, don't just settle for being awesome. Set your goal to awe them all and take action.